Okay, so hi, welcome everyone. My name is Akshat Srivastav. Thank you so much for joining this session first and foremost. Really appreciate you taking the time out, and Happy New Year to all of you. Tomorrow, all of us would have, tomorrow and day after, I think all of us would be super busy with partying and stuff. So good timing from our side to organize this session. So that's fun, right? So very quickly, folks. So we will try to end this session at 9:45 p.m. precisely, and we will divide it into 4 blocks. So first 10 minutes, I will speak. I will speak a little bit about what NFTs are and what is the utility of NFTs, because many of you are a little confused because this is an evolving space. So I'll keep it simple to the point. Number two, I will hand over the mic to then Anshul, because a lot of you asked me a lot of questions around Lakshmi NFTs. What precisely is it? What is the utility of Lakshmi NFT? So literally, like Anshul will answer that part. And third and finally, we have Shivam. So Shivam will show us how to, if you have unstaked your NFT, then how can you sell it to me, right? Or how you can unstake it now and sell it to me on OpenSeas by using your MetaMask wallet, right? So Shivam will run us through that tutorial, right? So that's the simple agenda. We'll cover these 3 specific points in 10 minutes block each. Towards the end, we will take questions, okay? And we will take the questions in the Q&A format on the chat. So right now you will not be able to chat because I have disabled the chat. It distracts everyone. So please listen to us, right? From that perspective, I'll give like a very quick 5-7 minute summary of what NFTs are in very easy to understand language and what is the primary utility the way I see it, right? This is not a comprehensive talk on NFTs, but just this 5-7 minute window, if you understand, then at least you will see at least you will start reading more about it, right? That's the primary goal of this session, that this is a knowledge driven session more than anything else. Okay, so let's get started. In very simple words, what is an NFT? NFTs are basically non-fungible tokens. It's an evolving space. This is where we are heading with the creator economy. A lot of buzzwords are coming that, hey, what Amitabh Bachchan has launched it, Mr. Beast has launched it, he has launched it, she has launched it, which is amazing. Okay, so a lot of work is undergoing in this space. What is it to you and me as retail investors? So when you actually buy, for example, recently you might have heard that Jack Dorsey created an NFT of the first tweet of Twitter and he sold it for thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, if I would have purchased that NFT, then what exactly am I owning? Can I hide that tweet from you? The answer is no. Can I make changes to that tweet? Right? The answer is again no. Right? Then what exactly is it? And this is what really confuses people, because I'm technically the owner. I've paid so much money to Jack Dorsey to own that tweet, the NFT to that tweet. Then what exactly am I owning? So essentially, I'm just owning an address on the blockchain, right, which points to that tweet, right? What does this mean, and why is it what is the utility? This looks like a scam, right, and all that. So this is obvious, right, because you'll get these type of questions very often. But here is the utility of owning that tweet, right? For example, there are things that are super rare, right? So rare would mean, for example, if you own dinosaur egg, right, it's super rare, right? I mean, now you can sell it for billions, maybe, right? It's like such a rare thing to have a dinosaur egg. Similarly, the assumption is that the NFT market or NFTs, if they survive till like 2080, 2090, then whatever the initial rare NFTs are for anything, they are super rare and they will become like what dinosaur eggs are now, right? So they will become super rare with it. This is the first utility of an NFT, that these are extremely few good NFTs. For example, CryptoPunks, if you Google it. So CryptoPunks look like pixelated pictures. Inherent value would be like, you know what can I do with CryptoPunk? It just looks like a JPEG and, really horribly drawn picture. But the point is that these are extremely rare. And that is the first key utility of NFT, right? Now, are all NFTs rare? The answer is no. But the NFTs that are rare, they have utility. So this is the first key utility. The second key thing is the proof of ownership, right? So proof of ownership, you might have heard that a lot of celebrities own NFTs. For example, Steph Curry owns a bunch of different NFTs. He changed its profile picture. Now, this is very akin to owning a cigar by Hitler. So it's a bad example to give, but I'll still give it. So for example, right, if you own a cigar that was one owned by Hitler, now that cigar is super good from the perspective because of the fact that it was owned by someone that the world talks about, for good or bad. Okay. Same goes for, like, let's say the copy of the first constitution, right? So that is extremely rare. Same goes for the first typewriter, so to say, right? Or a typewriter owned by, let's say, Shakespeare. I don't know, Shakespeare used to write on typewriter or not, but I'm just a horrible example. But yeah, I hope you get the picture that, hey, if a typewriter was owned by Shakespeare, or if a paintbrush was owned by Da Vinci, then all these things are owner driven. And if the NFT is owned by someone popular, that is the second key utility. Now, how does this play into the equation? Because a lot of NFTs are getting launched. Now, if Barack Obama owns, let's say, an NFT of something random, right? Just because of the fact that Barack Obama has owned that NFT makes that NFT very useful. Okay. Now, more to this point, very, very quickly, is the proof of ownership for an NFT is verifiable. Why? Because these NFTs are put on a blockchain network, and the addresses on the blockchain network can be easily verified. So from that perspective, the proof of an ownership is easy to track, right? And anything on the blockchain network can be easily tracked. For example, if Anshul is sending me a Bitcoin, then it can be tracked that, hey, this transfer happened from person X to person Y, right? And you can see this, right? If you go on Coin Market Cap and if you try to see the wallet addresses, or at least the distribution of that, that can be easily verified. And that is the power of a blockchain network. So this is the second key utility of an NFT right now, that owned by someone good, right? And that gives it power. And third is utility based, right? So for example, you would have heard of certain projects like Decentraland has a mana token, right? And it has NFTs associated with it. So Decentraland is a planet, right? And the currency is mana on that planet. And there are a bunch of resources on that planet which are like Decentraland NFTs. For example, you would have read that people are buying like land parcels, and companies are buying like these different pieces of land on Decentraland, all that stuff. So what exactly is happening, right? So there is a new planet which is called as Decentraland. The currency there is mana. So this is a tradable currency, right? You can go buy it from a bunch of different crypto exchanges. And you can also purchase NFTs associated with that planet. So NFTs are nothing but resources on that planet. Now, those resources are useful if the planet itself is useful, right? If Decentraland as a planet falls, right, then the NFTs associated with Decentraland will go bad, right? Now, the resources associated with Decentraland NFTs, these can be termed as playable NFTs, because Decentraland allows you to play games and you can win rewards. Now, again, comparing it to something like video games, right? Right now, if you play God of War or if you play Call of Duty, then essentially you are paying your money, USD INR, and you are buying a gun, right, on Call of Duty. Now you have no way to sort of, bring that gun back into rupee format, right? You have spent that, you can only use it in Call of Duty universe, and that's done, right? So even if you win something, you will win some points. There is no way for you to, there is no systemic way of earning rewards in cash per se, unless you are playing in some leagues and all that, right? But when it comes to playable NFTs, because of this entire new planet is being created, there is a currency going on, there are useful NFTs that you can uncover. So every time you uncover a resource on that new planet, you can convert back that into cash, right? You can sell those resources to someone else. There is a market that is there. So in that context, I'll hand over the mic to Anshul now. My time is up, right? So 9 minutes. I did a good job, like exactly like 9 minutes. So Anshul, over to you. So now if you can quickly talk about Lakshmi NFT, because a lot of questions have come up, right? What exactly Lakshmi NFTs are? Zion was, will it go up? Does the price change? These are some of the key questions that I've received.
Perfect, great. I'm going to share a quick few slides for just assisting me and hopefully everybody to just go through this analysis. So I think first I'll touch on Lakshmi NFT because I have this 10-minute time window, and then I'll just go to Zionverse quickly as much as I can. Mm-hmm. So the value of anything or any asset is intrinsic value plus the future value. What is the intrinsic value? It's predictable. It's discounted sort of cash flow. The future value is obviously unpredictable. It's a little bit speculative. The way to think about it is intrinsic value is the one actually giving you safety because you know it. It's very, because it's predictable, you really get it. And the future value is the one actually that gives you very large outsized returns. I think it's like, I don't know.
So you'll have to unshare your screen. I don't know how to control this on.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right, let me then just talk through this. So the idea is that, for all NFTs today, primarily like Akshat gave an example of CryptoPunks, it's really all about sort of potentially some future value, some social status, the fact that it is very rare. Like if maybe Obama did it, it is again a social proof, right? But a lot of these other NFT projects are coming, they're actually really future value oriented, right? Even if you buy crypto tokens today, whether that's Ethereum or any other crypto token, it's by and large future value, right? What are we trying to do with the Lakshmi NFT is we really wanted to bring the intrinsic value also, including future value. So what is the intrinsic value in the Lakshmi NFT? There are three ways you get predictable rewards. The first was a giveaway given by Vault. So the earlier you come, the better it is. Started with USDC 25. The earlier you bought, the more you got. Then it decreased to USD 11, then USD 5, and then it decreased to USD 0, right? So that's a giveaway reward based on how early you came. The second are your staking rewards, which range from 18% minimum to 108%. These are based on chance. When you bought your NFT, and we did a random seed algorithm, based on that randomness, you got assigned a particular NFT. The staking rewards were 18% for 12 months, all the way to 108%, all in USDC, right? So what you have to understand is this isn't us creating a token like a Zion token and saying, take more of that token, right? Because we could print that token. I can give you as much of that token as possible. A USDC is a stable coin, would always be around $1. That's how it's algorithmically done. So we are actually giving you real returns, right? The third is actually gaming reward. After 12 months of the staking rewards being over, you actually play a game based on your performance in the game. You get a minimum 50 USDC to all the way up to 1,000 USDC. If people will calculate the intrinsic value over your next 12 months, your net intrinsic value of the overall pool of people, because some based on how early they came, what randomly or rarity they got, how their game performance will make a lot of money. Some will make less money, but overall, the intrinsic value already is a lot more than your purchase price, right? Of 101 USDC. Let's come to the other part, which is the future value, right? Like, why does Lakshmi NFT have future value, which should be your outsized gains? The other thing I'll just want to tell you is, unlike other NFT projects where you're only buying future value, in effect, at Zionverse, we have given you this future value at a cost to us, right? You're actually getting paid to own the future value. And we did it because really we want to build this community and make it really large and really understand. The way we derive this intrinsic value, by the way, is we are not paying it from our pocket. We take these proceeds of NFT, we put them in DeFi strategies, in crypto finance strategies. We earn those returns and we are passing it to you. So it isn't a cost to us. We are actually generating that value and giving it to all the NFT holders, right? Future value of Lakshmi NFT, a few cases. One, it gives you access, right? What is the access it will give you? We are right now, I can already tell you 2 events which we are launching. There is a League of Arts. In the League of Arts will be, we'll do NFT projects by other creators. If you are a Lakshmi NFT holder in that, we will actually give you a lot of special privileges. For example, one privilege would be, if you bought an NFT in that auction, you can always sell it back to us at a minimum guarantee price, which will only be given to Lakshmi NFT holders. So that's one example of a privilege. The other is, we are actually going to come out with a private token sale. Lakshmi NFT holders will have access to it. So you may want to take part in the private token sale if you feel that, overall Zionverse is a great project. That access has value. 2, this is again something, to be built in the future. We are already building a lot of animation content, right? For people who want to see what sort of animation content we have built, you can check out Zionverse YouTube channel. We have already posted a 14-minute Minecraft-oriented video that we have done. We have done a lot of animation stuff. In our future, we are really creating an Indian culture, history, and mythological universe, right? So we'll be creating animation, creating content. As we monetize that content, when we'll use in that content Lakshmi or any of its avatars, some of that royalty stream and the revenue stream will flow to the Lakshmi NFT holders, correct? The third, which is what all gaming projects do, is actually your Lakshmi NFT is a gateway to Zionverse in the Zionverse gaming ecosystem, which is play and earn. Now, why is Zionverse valuable, right? So now I'm saying the third part, that Lakshmi NFT gives you gateway to Zionverse. So obviously, why should, like, if Zionverse is valuable, Lakshmi NFT and all other NFTs will be valuable. So here the thing to understand is that, look, gaming, when I used to game, was a source of entertainment and a source of escape, right? Gaming today already with Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite is a social network, right? People go there to actually socialize, meet each other, which is why Fortnite is able to sell $10 billion of just costumes and aesthetics, right? Like, I have bought this hoodie and I paid money for it because I feel connected to it and people in the world see it. For them, Fortnite is real, right? They spend their time in Fortnite. So buying cosmetics in Fortnite is very real to them, right? The gaming and metaverse of the future is actually going to be the place of commerce. It'll be entertainment plus social plus commerce. Why? If you see what has happened with Robinhood, gamifying investments works, right? If you see video commerce, entertainment plus commerce works. If you see social commerce, social connections plus commerce works. So more and more the realization is that people want things to be multidimensional. I just don't want to come to a website, transact and go away, right? Those days are over. Where people will interact, the commerce layers will naturally move there. So gaming metaverses are actually going to become the digital nations, right? So you have to think of them not as a game, but it's almost like I'm building a new country in the digital world. And in that country, you come, you live there digitally, you meet other people digitally, you socialize digitally, you transact digitally, and you do all commerce digitally, right? Every place of commerce has tremendous value. And that is also why Zionverse will have value. One. Two, we are actually getting a lot of value from the crypto finance in the DeFi world, right? So all the strategies we are doing to produce return for Lakshmi NFT, those value we are actually getting to the Zionverse itself. So that's the second part of value that Zionverse derives, right? Three, like any game, we'll also be selling aesthetics. We'll be selling you progress. If you want a particular sword, which is much higher power, you can either get it by spending effort, time, or you can actually buy it. And there'll be a thriving game economy like there already is in Web2 games. So in order of value addition, the biggest value addition will be a place of commerce. The second value addition will be a place where we connect DeFi world and get that value in. And the third value actually will be the gaming economy. This is why Zionverse is valuable. And hence Lakshmi NFT as a gateway into Zionverse will be very valuable in a future value aspect. So I'm just, again, very quickly to summarize, I still only have 2 minutes left. Any asset value is intrinsic plus future. We have really been talking about the intrinsic value. Why? Because in my view, we are giving you that future value, not only free, you're actually getting paid to own that future value, right? And the future value is also going to be large. That's where you make outsized returns, right? Why do VCs invest in startup? Startups don't have any intrinsic value. There is no revenue. In a lot of cases, there is no profit in majority of cases. So intrinsic value is actually negative. They are only betting on future value, right? So the future value is the way you make outsized returns. Why aren't we pounding the table that this is the future value? Because I don't think we want to, right? The intrinsic value is already so much. Come for that, believe in the vision in the project, and see how that future value translates and how much more investment and money you can actually also make by being part of this ecosystem. I'll pass it back to you, Akshat, because my time is up.
I'll just take a couple of minutes, guys, because, we spoke about some high level concepts here, right, which might not be completely clear. So I'll just quickly explain my point of view as to why did I invest in Zionverse in a couple of minutes, right? So I think that will be important. And I think Anshul missed talking about his background. So I'll hand over the mic to him in a few seconds to explain that also, right? Because that is very important. So that I invest, and see, guys, I mean, this is not a webinar where we are sort of talking about that come invest in Zionverse or Lakshmi NFT, we are sold out, right? So that's point one. So we don't have more Lakshmi NFTs to sell. This is a educational, knowledge-driven session. Okay. Now think about it rationally. You all are rational investors. So I am an investor in Zionverse for two reasons. One is given Anshul's background and his team's background, so which Anshul will explain in a minute. So to any angel investor, to any VC, that is one of the key things, right? That you go behind a team that is creating anything that is of power, because startups inherently don't have value, right? As Anshul was saying. So that's one. Second key point is that I believe in the concept of metaverses for the simple fact that entire economies are getting created. One great way of looking at it is to understand what is happening in low income countries like Philippines, right? So there is an entire economy that has come up in 2020 where people are making more money by playing Axie Infinity compared to the jobs that they are doing in the economy, which is madness and which is genius also, right? So we probably are looking like madmen talking about these futuristic concepts, but Philippines is a great case study in this entire concept about the fact that, hey, you know what, this is the future, right? You have everything is like converging towards, see, everything can be done globally, right? There's a natural evolution of things. For example, we moved from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0, which is the present form of internet, to Web 3.0, which is what metaverse is in a way, where everything is getting interconnected. Facebook has changed literally its name to Meta, right? And Zuckerberg is probably one of the smartest technology guys out there who has built billion-dollar enterprises. So this is where the future is moving. In India, some company is going to do it. We might very well fail with our efforts from that perspective, right? We'll be humble enough to accept it. But from the point of view that we are genuinely trying to do good job in this world by building on these future narratives. And yeah, that's our pitch, right? That's our point of view of this entire metaverse ecosystem. Anshul, very quickly, right, in a minute, if you can introduce your team and you, right, and then we'll hand it over to Shiva.
Sure. So very quickly, my background, I'm from Delhi, went to IIT Delhi for my BTech, went to IIM Bangalore for my MBA, spent the next 11 years in London, mostly on the hedge fund side. I was a partner at Stark Investments, which was the 7th largest hedge fund in the world. I myself was managing $3.5 billion in macro credit, equity, and derivative strategies. Moved back to India in 2013, wanted to take a break, so did law full time from Delhi University Campus Law Center, graduated 2016 from there, started my journey, my entrepreneurial journey, started a few companies which I felt were in areas which would become legal. So I did vaping, hemp. I also did like a liquor business, opened 21 bars in Delhi under the brand Barshala. If any one of you are from Delhi, you would probably know that chain. 2017 started Totality, and we have been on this tech startup journey for the last 4.5 years. This is our third product overall. And the first product was MGPL, 2.2 million users. Third product was Yovo, which was a TikTok for interactive video, 3.5 million users. And now obviously with Zionverse, my CTO is Govind, has been with Totality since the beginning. Head of people operations is Alicia, with us for 3 years. Head of content and marketing is Shivam, who is on this podcast, also has his own crypto channel as well, very well known in the crypto world also. Our head of game design is Mithun, was in the US game industry, came back to India during the pandemic, joined us 2 years back. So we are a very capable team, have a great vision. That by no means means that we are not making mistakes. We have made a ton of mistakes in Lakshmi NFT launch. We have learned a lot from it. The community is really helping us, accelerate our product development and learning, and we'll keep doing better and better and better, right?
Right. And also, guys, one key point, and I don't know if I should be bringing it up on this webinar. One key issue that people have with NFT-driven projects there is something called as rug pull, which is the negative side of NFTs, and all the negative aspects that you hear about NFTs. You will never have projects that are designed to scam people do AMAs ever, right? So that is how it usually works, right? And here you can come ask us questions. We might not immediately get back because we are a small team from that angle, but we are doing this AMA right now in a way, and Anshul, Shivam, and their entire team keeps on doing these very frequent. So some of your answers, if they don't get answered today, please feel free to chip in, right, for another EMA, they will definitely be organizing more.
Sorry, one thing I quickly wanted to mention, which I forgot. By the way, like at Totality, we are funded by two institutional investors, Leo Capital and Mayfield. Mayfield is one of the largest tech VC fund, very popular in the US and in India both. Leo Capital is by Rajul Garg. He's a 3-year senior of mine from IIT Delhi. Was also the founder of Pine Labs, which makes POS machines, is a $1 billion company, as well as Global Logic, which is also a $1 billion company, right? So, the institutional investors also do their due diligence, and we are not here. So the money that we have gotten in sales from Lakshmi NFT is not to fund our salaries, etc. Like I said, we are putting that pool of money, investing and returning it back to the NFT holders, right? We are really here to create really big, massive value, because my bet is on the future value, and we are giving intrinsic value to the community so that it makes it easier for them to educate themselves and understand and believe in us for that future value, right? So I just wanted to add that as well, Akshay.
Right, absolutely. So we have eaten into Shivam's time. So Shivam, over to you. We have like 5 minutes now. Okay.
Awesome. I think 5 minutes is more than enough. Hope you can hear me fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me also. Yeah, I guess now you won't be able to see the annotation. So the process to actually unstake your Lakshmi NFT in case you want to sell it is pretty simple. The first thing that I'd also like to mention is if you unstake, you lose out on the monthly rewards because you won't be able to stake again. So just think about that before you unstake. So you just go to your My Collections. I have this Trini Lakshmi, which is tier 7. Let's say I want to unstake this one. So I'll see a button called unstake here. So what I need is a MetaMask wallet. So right now my MetaMask is connected and I am on the Polygon chain. So these NFTs are minted on the Polygon chain. And when you click and when you connect your MetaMask wallet, you'll see these 3 bullet points. And please make sure you go through these 3 because they tell you what's going to happen when you unstake and when you mint, right? So I say, yes, I want to unstake. I don't want those. Then it shows me my address. I confirm, yes, that's my MetaMask address. And again, there's another warning, of course. So I unstake it and it's processing. So this transaction, by the way, happens on the Polygon chain. So it will take anywhere from like half a minute to maybe maximum of 2 minutes or something like that. And you don't have to pay any gas fee for this. This is something that we are taking care of for you on the back end. And what happens to this NFT? So this gets into my MetaMask wallet. And the way to view this NFT in your MetaMask wallet, one is you can have a mobile app of your MetaMask wallet and you can see that that you own these NFTs in your MetaMask app. The second way to see this is go to OpenSea. And when you go to OpenSea and you connect your MetaMask, you will optimally you'll see these NFTs either in your hidden section. So I'm just waiting. I think the transaction is still processing. So 2 things happen till the transaction processes. I'll also cross check my MetaMask once. You will see them either in the hidden category and you'll have to unhide them for them to become public, or you'll see it in your collected category here. And let me just confirm the transaction. Refresh and see. Yeah, it still says it's processing. So that's minted. Let me do this. Let me check my phone in case OpenSea is having delays. And let me also cross check. I am on the Matic mainnet. Yeah. So I'm just cross checking my phone. As I said, I'll just have a look at my phone and I'll see what NFTs I own. I think I need to add the chain here. Either ways, till the NFT shows up, I'll just also give you a rough idea on what you need to do if you have to send it to Akshat in this case. Let's say I want to send this CryptoKitties. Let's assume for now that this is the Lakshmi NFT. I also have an address here with me that, by the way, Akshat will share with you. So I'm just going find that address. So it's a Polygon address. So you will need a little bit of Matic in your MetaMask wallet. You literally need like maybe 0.1 Matic, which is about 5-10 rupees worth of Matic. So you'll need to use an exchange like Binance or some other exchange that allows you to send Matic on Matic chain. And you'll need to send it to your MetaMask on the Matic chain itself, not on the Ether chain. So all I need to do is in my OpenSea, there is this button called transfer. So when you see the Lakshmi NFT here, you connect your wallet. I see my wallet here. I can click on transfer. Let me change the chain. Give me a second, guys, here. I think that's the, yeah, on Ethereum. Alrighty, transfer. Yeah. So all I need to do is I need to paste the address here that Akshat will share with you later, and you can transfer the NFTs. I click on transfer. I pay the fee. In this case, this is Ethereum chain, so it's different. In your case, it will take the fee in Matic, so which is not going to be much, and that's it. That's the process to transfer these. And on that note, I'll also cross check my my OpenSea if it has shown yet, or maybe I need to reconfigure.
Oh, I think you have something in hidden now.
Yeah, perfect. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. So it's showing now, and you see it shows Matic under that. So pretty simple, straightforward. I click on transfer again, put the address. I click on transfer. It asks me. It kind of confirms if I really want to transfer the assets, which is the NFT in this case. So I'll just process that. So it costs me 0.002 Matic. So you don't even need to actually transfer 0.1 Matic, which is it's really cheap. Okay, let me refresh. I think the transaction has gone through, if I'm not wrong. Okay, some issue there. I think OpenSea is experiencing issues. So by the way, this is if you experience such issues, you can just come back later, half an hour later or something like that. OpenSea is the biggest NFT marketplace in the world, and this kind of situation is pretty common, by the way, especially if you're using Ethereum chain. Perfect. Yeah. So my transaction is processing, it shows, and it also gives me a transaction hash that I can verify on Polygon scan. So if I wait a couple of minutes, it will populate this whole thing and it will give me an exact time of and all the details of this transaction. And that's it. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So
Yeah,
folks, what we would do now is that we'll just quickly take some questions. I'll recap the process once, right? For selling, if you want to sell back your Lakshmi NFT to me, I'm happy purchasing it, as I said earlier. And this was the announcement that I made, right, a few days back. So I'll share my screen very quickly, right? So this is the announcement that I made. This post was done on 5 days ago, right? So around what date? 25th December. So this is a limited time buyback only. I will purchase it at no profit, no loss. So you purchased it at 101 USDT DC. So you will sell it back to me at that rate. Okay. But your purchase should have been made between 23rd December 8:30 p.m. to 25th. Why? Because this was the period where I had posted the video for the first time. Okay. If you have purchased it before or after, then I can't ask my team to verify all these things. It becomes just too much of an operations challenge for my side. Okay. And we will be able to verify this. This is the first key thing, that these date and time are easily verifiable from our end. Second key thing is, many of you might be thinking that, hey, I got like Lakshmi NFT at 18%. So I'll sell it to Akshat, then I'll buy Lakshmi NFT again. And probably I'll get like 36% APY or 108% APY. You can't do it because all the Lakshmi NFTs are sold. So you can't buy it again unless someone is willing to sell it to you. So please keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah. And please give us like 7 days to get all this done. Okay. So that is the bottom line. And these are the simple rules. Now, what we will do is that I will open up the chat, right? And please ask us your questions. We will not be able to allow people to speak, right, on this open platform right now. So we will take some, otherwise it will just take too much time. Okay. So we'll try to take as many questions as possible. We'll try to, in case you joined the webinar late, no problem. We will email you the recording. Okay. So guys, whatever questions you find to be useful, please pick it and then we will try to answer it. Please keep it relevant to NFT/Lakshmi, NFT/Zionverse/metaverses. Okay. So Abhijit, no. So Abhijit is asking me that I didn't get a chance to buy Lakshmi NFT. Is there a chance that I could buy it from you? No, I'll not be selling it. Right. So yeah. So I think Anshul, if you can take this is a good question. I hope it doesn't happen, but how can we prove ownership of our Lakshmi NFT if Zionverse goes down?
Right. I think that's a good point. So right now, when you buy the Lakshmi NFT, it is automatically staked. What happens in all staking of all NFTs is that the ownership is temporarily moved back to the place where you have staked it. We have done this so that most people can get these rewards. Obviously, if you want to verify the actual ownership, you'll have to unstake it, and only then you can actually get that contract to your particular wallet, right? So the process we are actually building, like I said, is that this money is separate. It is actually not going to be used for any of the other salaries or any other expenses of Zionverse or Totality, which is the company making Zionverse. So all of this will be safe, even if Zionverse goes down in the in the unfortunate case. Anything can happen, but I don't think it will happen. But even if that happens, everybody gets paid exactly according to what we have said for the Lakshmi NFT.
Got it. The Lakshmi NFT is $101 and the APY is 36. So after 1 year, you get 36, but you cannot get back the initial amount, right? So your investment went from $100 to $36.
So that's incorrect. Like I said, there are three things that you're getting. You're getting the giveaway, which was ranging from 25, then 11, then 5, then 0. That's one. All the ones who were getting, 21 USDC have already got it. 11 and 5 will start soon. Second, the 36% is paid monthly. So you will be getting this reward every month. So if you're getting 36%, that comes to 3% per month. You get it monthly. Overall, you get $36. At the end of the 12 months, you're playing the game, right? So you're getting an additional 50 minimum. So for people, a lot of people have asked us this question: what happens if I don't play the game? It's based on a leaderboard. You don't play, you come last, you will still get the 50 USDC. If you play, you have a chance to make all the way up to 1,000 USDC. So the intrinsic value isn't that the 101 went to 36. If you actually work it out, it's going to be a lot more than 101.
Okay. Okay, guys. So we can't take too many questions, right, from that perspective. Someone is asking, and this seems like a legit question, that what if I'm not a gamer? Then what happens?
Right. I think, yeah, this is also a question like a lot of people have asked. See, when we floated this NFT, our view was that a lot of people will come, they'll believe in the idea that we're creating this metaverse and they would want the gaming interaction, which is why this gaming interaction is right now built in as a compulsory tool. But like I said, if you don't play, you still receive the minimum reward of USDC 50, even if you don't take part in the game. Obviously, there's a benefit for you to game because you could make a lot more. Mm-hmm. In the future, we will definitely consider that there's a large audience which are looking at these NFTs not just as gaming gateways. We will consider to sort of try to segregate it. But in the case of Lakshmi NFT, it is not segregated.
Got it. Will Lakshmi NFT open for sale again? If so, when?
So Lakshmi NFT will never open again for sale. The only way to buy it, like Akshat said, is in the secondary market. we will do other NFT sales, but they will never be Laxmi NFT sales. There'll be other NFTs with their own sort of intrinsic risk rewards, as well as different variations of future value that each NFT will have.
Right. So Anshul, one point that even I would need a little bit clarity more on this is that, okay, after 12 months, I get the APY, right? During this 12-month period, then I participate in the game. Then for how long these games last?
So they're going to last for like a few days. You're going to get up to 3 chances to play in the game, and that's it. And that gaming reward is done. You can then also use your Laxmi NFT to come into the normal Zionverse gaming universe, which will be a play and earn environment. So you can actually earn more using the Laxmi NFT sort of forever, right? But the intrinsic rewards that we are giving and already promising will stop from there. Obviously, after that, the more you game, the more you take different parts, the more you can earn. There'll be different paths for you to make more money on your Laxmi NFT. But that's not something that we are guaranteeing because it will depend on your effort and your decisions.
Correct. And if someone does not have the time to play the game and they are looking at purely from an investment point of view, then what is the story there, right? I mean, from the point of view that, hey, I hold it, Zionverse becomes really big, and at that time I can sell my Laxmi NFT. Is that
Correct.
what?
Correct. So I would say that this is pretty much like holding real estate, right? Not every real estate you buy, you're going to build a house or an office or a shop. But till the time there are enough other people who are looking to build the house and the shop, etc., your real estate is valuable and can appreciate in value. Similarly, the idea for Zionverse would be we cannot be a place where only investors come in. It'll have to be a balance. We have to have enough gamers who care about owning the Laxmi NFT to make that money, to get the entertainment, to connect with other people, to get to like the aesthetics, so that it remains valuable, and then you can obviously sell it to them. So like real estate, if everyone is just an investor, no end user, value will go to zero. Pretty much the same will happen with Laxmi NFT, which is why we have to do a good balance. Our estimate for the first Laxmi NFT sale is that it's 50-50. 50% are first NFT buyers and 50% is actually crypto native gaming audience. For people who are on our Discord, you will see that as well. A lot of questions about the game, interactivity, a lot of questions that I don't want to game, give me the investment. Some of those first NFT buyers hopefully will also become gamers. But if you're just an investor, there will always be enough gamers for you to sell to.
Correct. Okay, so can we quickly touch upon some of the touch points or milestones where this as an investment pays off, right? For example, point number 1, and I think Shivam sent me that calculation that hey, I'm putting in like 101 USDC right now. So minimum I'm making is $71 for sure, something around that, right? So Shivam, that was the calculation, right?
Yeah, so that was for the 21 USDC reward part, which was for like the first 2554 wallets. And so after that,
no, that will be 89 US. That will still be 89 USDC because you'll get 21 plus 18%, which is 18.18. Let's call it 18. So that will be 39 plus 50, which will be 89. So your minimum is 89. Your max would be 21 plus 108%, which will be 108 or $109, which will be 130 plus 1,000. So you could make $1,130 max. You have $89 minimum if you got the 21 USDC reward. So that's just the intrinsic value. If you look at it from an overall perspective, you're obviously considering the worst possible case and the best possible case. Overall, for everyone inside this, their intrinsic value is going to be above the 101 USDC that they paid for.
I'm just speculating here, and correct me if I'm wrong. So for example, as Zionverse gets bigger in size, for example, you guys raise more funds, bunch of other good things, then does a Laxmi NFT goes up in value for an investor?
Absolutely. So I think when you were asking, the first thing I was going to say is look like any project, like you would see even in crypto tokens. As soon as they announce a VC raise, the token goes up like crazy up in value. Why? Because the risk, like still when like people are asking us what happens if Zionverse doesn't exist, the more money we raise, the survival risk reduces. The more money we raise, we grow like crazy. As more ecosystem comes, your future value goes up a lot, right? So as we raise more money, future value goes up and survival risk decreases. From both aspects, it becomes more valuable. The other part is the same thing will happen when we launch the next NFT project. That becomes sellout. Again, the fact is that as the community keeps growing larger and larger, the future value keeps becoming larger and larger. So every milestone of successful NFT sale, game launch, lot more users coming in, fundraise, the NFT value will keep increasing, because the future value is now getting more realized. Like some part of that future value starts becoming more and more intrinsic.
So one final question, I think this is a question that a lot of the audiences would also have, is that, hey, okay, you know what, I'm a normal retail investor, I have invested in stocks, normal crypto so far, I can go back and sell it to an exchange, right? Whenever, NSE, BSE, and whichever crypto exchange I'm using. But I have to sell this NFT, then how do I sell it, right? So so OpenSeas is one, right? I mean, but can I find people on Discord? Can you speak about some of the avenues of cashing this out?
Right. See, the idea that we have is, we really thought that we're giving this 12 months staking rewards, the game, for people to actually, not want to, not have the desire to sell it, but people have the desire, which is also why we gave the option to unstake, because this NFT belongs to you. You choose what you want to do, irrespective of what we recommend, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously you can unstake it, take it to your MetaMask. OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace, but with MetaMask, you can connect to tons of marketplaces. The other thing is, in the next version of Zionverse, or maybe like depending on the amount of time we have, we are already building an exchange where you will not need to do this unstaking, go to MetaMask, etc. Right? You will still have an option to do it, but within the Zionverse community, if you create an account, you'll be able to trade it within Zionverse much more easily. So if you have your Lakshmi NFT, you'll be able to sell it to someone else who is desirous of buying the Lakshmi NFT through Zionverse. It's not a marketplace. We're not competing with OpenSea. We're not saying, Yash, who I can see his name here, please come make your NFT and sell it on Zionverse. This is only for Zionverse NFTs, so that we enable much easier trading ability for that Zionverse community itself. So we will actually enable that. That will be, gasless. It will be much easier for you to transfer stuff. Maybe you can keep your Lakshmi NFT like we have staked and, transfer it. Right now, we haven't built that process. So you have to unstake, take it to MetaMask, sell it openly. But in the future, we're also going to do that. And it will definitely come before the 12 months of returns on the Lakshmi NFT plus the gaming rewards are over. So for people in this journey who would want to sell, you would have that option also.
Got it. So, all right. Thanks, folks. I think this is where we should conclude, right? We have a lot of questions. So final inputs as to if people want to get in touch, know more about the next few NFTs that Zionverse is launching, where should they keep a track of this? That's
the fun. Best place.
When are you launching
actually, the best place is actually our Discord, which is discord.gg/Zionverse. You can really find that on our website as well. That's the best place to connect to the team, to connect to the community. Always the most recent information will actually be on that Discord. If you also need any support, have any other questions, we do a lot of AMAs on Discord, on the voice call. So that will be the best place for you to connect with us, whether you own Lakshmi NFT or not. Or we also have a Web3 school channel on it in case you just want to discuss NFTs, resources about NFTs and Web3 in general.
Amazing. So, all right, folks. So we'll keep you posted. Sorry, we could not take all the questions. I will personally send you an email, right, with important points, summarizing some of the key things also, and the entire recording of this webinar that was done. So in case you joined late and you did not understand the process, please watch that recording fully to understand it more. More than anything else, we hope that this gave you more insights on what NFTs are, whether they have value, not have value. You form your opinions and accordingly take investments in it. So yeah, so please take it from an education point of view, right? And keep on learning, right? And Happy New Year, right? That's what we leave you with.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much, Akshay.
Thanks.
Happy New Year, everyone.